folks, Morin here, coming at you live from Prescott, Arizona. Chappie here. Very good to be with you today. Had a good weekend. We were able to get the Jeep out today. I hope the light here is pretty good. Let me see if I could adjust this here. Let's get out so I can get out here in the sun a little bit here. See me a little bit better. Sorry about this, folks. Quite a shadow. All right, shall we try this again? It's good to be here, folks. Had a good weekend. Was able to get the Jeep out on a run. I think it's pronounced Mogollon Rim. It's a place outside of Payson, Arizona, and just a beautiful spot. A very easy trail, but we did it more as a recon for the area to kind of see how things are going and to just scout out new areas to go jeeping in as we enjoy the beautiful Arizona summer here. What I wanted to talk to you about today, well, let me start here. When a soldier is going through his initial training, the soldier gets out there and goes through basic training and then goes through AIT, Advanced Individual Training. And all of this is what forms the basic core of what a soldier is, the basic skill sets, the basic, learning the rules and regulations, learning how to be, basically, when it comes down to it, a soldier. But that's not where it stops. The real training begins when you actually get to your job and you get on the ground, and the soldiers that are already there, in a sense, are the ones that actually train you and show you how to how to do your job and continue to soldier. Usually you have a platoon sergeant who's crusty and just knows what he's doing, hopefully. And you fall in underneath these guys and you learn what you're supposed to do. And you become brothers with these guys. And that's where it happens. Now I want to talk a little bit today about on the spiritual side of growing in your Christianity. Basically, discipleship is what I'm getting at here. We're really quick to sometimes make Christians and plant the seeds, but when someone comes to Christ, or maybe they're already a Christian but they're not really that strong, that's where we usually fail. And the term is called discipleship. Now, the Great Commission, as we're supposed to be following, is basically it says, go into the world and make disciples of all men. And hopefully we're starting to get that down. We're reaching out to people around us. We're inviting them to church. We're sharing Christ with them. But it's more than just that initial moment when they accept Christ. It's the discipleship part afterward. Go and make disciples of all nations and all people. And that's kind of the critical spot where we need to, I think the church needs to return to some focus. I remember going to a concert, it was the Resurrection Band was the name of the band, and at the time during the 80s, the Christian music was really shallow, folks. It wasn't good. But the Resurrection Band was a good hard rock band, had a good sound to it, and we would go there. Every time they would come through Colorado Springs, we would actually go to the concerts, and they were phenomenal. We enjoyed them. And as usual, a Christian band, usually at the very end, they did an altar call. And people would flock to the front and just fill the front. The one thing, though, that they did, which was good, is the local churches had little teams placed inside of the arena there, and especially up front, to engage these new Christians directly. And not only would they engage these Christians directly, these new Christians, is they would get an information card out and get their contact information so that they could personally follow up on this decision to follow Christ. And what would happen is they would they would make sure that the new Christian would get into a good church or get into a good group of friends, other Christians, who could help nurture the growth into their newfound faith. And I thought that was very important, and it worked. I heard about some stories about, and I'm not dogging Billy Graham at all, that sometimes they were worried that all these souls that came to Christ would, only 25% would stick in a sense, because the follow-up was so great and overwhelmed the local churches. And it's kind of sad to see that if someone comes to Christ, they just get left behind. And I guess that's a good concept to grasp onto here. As in the Army, you never leave a man behind, or woman behind. And as in discipleship, I think it should be the same way. Never leave a Christian behind. Never leave a new saved soul behind. We always need to be there to lift these people up, to encourage them, and to help them to grow in the faith so that they don't fall away. So it's very, very important that we understand this concept. And I encourage you, one of the goals behind our church, Anglican Church of the Holy Spirit, the Walk Like a Lion series, and the bigger umbrella of Pathfinder, is to be a discipleship tool to Christians out there. And I know a lot of this is on the internet. Most of you don't live in Prescott, so it's hard to come to church. But hopefully these tools can be used to help people grow deeper in their faith. And that's the overall goal here, is to be a resource for that. I want to encourage you to always reach out, especially when you're out, sharing your witness, to reach out and not just kind of seal the deal, so to speak, make new Christians, but also seek out other Christians that might be growing in their faith. They might need some of the experience you have. And if you need experience, seek out other Christians around you. Seek out a very good church, something that gives solid teaching, and it's not all about the pastor, but it's about Christ. And in my case, we in Anglicans we look at also the Lord's Supper, communion, as the focus of the service. Connect people with these things, folks. It will do. It's what we're supposed to do. It's part of the Great Commission, and it's part of what we're called to do. So I encourage you today, let your light shine, let your witness shine, but make sure we follow up with these people so we don't leave anybody behind. And because, life's tough. Life is tough. If you look around us, there's chaos everywhere. The answer is Christ. And we need to get together, we need to band together, we need to fellowship together, and we need to see Christ in that fellowship and grow deeper in Him. They say a lot of times iron sharpens iron. I know, fellow Christians may not have different views that would be challenging to us, but you never know when there's going to be a Christian that says something simple and challenges your faith to grow deeper into Christ. And I know that was kind of maybe a little confusing there. I hope it's not. But I keep praying for you all out there. Be strong, and remember, walk like lions.